educating the community. If we'll start now with letting the papers know and the community know that we're 70 people down, we won't get our heads bashed in when it comes budget time. So that was, and I was, let y'all know, that was a big pet peeve for me, is I think that we need to do a better job of, now that we got the paper back, bragging on our schools and telling the other stuff like it is. I think you started the principal report. I love to hear bragging. We all know, we go out, we all hear the old Polk County jokes, what I'm talking about. And just like what Miss Tamlin put in on Facebook, did you see what she put in? She listed all of them. That's great. We need that out there.
More people saying that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been kind of a sinkhole about neighbors, and I know that the banner has been great.
Picked us up,
giving us
Thank you so
positive
much for showing up.
Love in the last year, for sure.
I think a lot of misunderstanding and problems comes from ignorance, and I'm not talking about people being ignorant, I'm talking about the lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
That they don't know that we're 70 students less, and all they want to know is why we're having to get rid of 2 teachers.
Yeah.
So it's important for you, whether you do it or I mean, at my company, every group has a good communications manager, and that's all they do is inform people of what's going on, and it just takes so much problems out of everything. So if you do one thing from my list of things I'd like to see you do is better communicate what are the good stuff, bad stuff, good, bad, and ugly, as the Clint Eastwood movie goes. Get it out there so people will know.
I agree with you.
We all get it when we go out in the community, we get bashed. Why are you doing it? What is it? Well, wait a minute, let me tell you.
Explain
They
this.
should
And
already
then
know.
most people are pretty reasonable when they get all the facts. It's like Mark said, there's different, ignorance means you don't have all the information to make an informed decision. Okay, doesn't mean you're not intelligent. But when people are presented with the information, then I've had people, I've spent an hour at Dollar General explaining why we had to do a teacher cut, and then I'm like, well, if you were me, what's the choice? Well, you didn't have a choice. And then they realize, and I'm like, well, will you please pass this along to all your friends that are discussing the same situation? And usually they do understand. If you can give them the information, most of our people do have a pretty high level of common sense. And if they've got the information, they do understand things better. And if you can get them to take the emotion out of everything.
They'll quit chunking rocks.
Absolutely.
Well, I look at the budget, so you got $22.5 million budget.
Yeah.
We agree to that. Then you cut 2 or 3 teachers, and somebody come up and goes, man, you got $22 million, why you cut people
Well,
out? They don't understand
here's
what
the
it takes
thing.
to run schools.
Yeah, and much to that point, people don't realize that, almost 4% of our money comes from state and federal. It doesn't come from county. Everybody thinks every penny that we run this school system on comes from their county taxes. And it doesn't. It's a small percentage. And of course, we are the biggest percentage of the county budget, and we are the ones that are whipping boys when things aren't going good. But when they realize that, really local money is a small percentage of what we get to run this whole
Stan,
deal.
just sitting here, someone tell me if I'm not accurate. If we went into next year 70 short, that's right at $500,000, we're right close to $500,000 in a cut, right? I mean, that's right at $500,000.
About 9,000 per student.
Kids.
Is that what it was?
I thought it was right at
How much is it?
7,500, 8,
Almost you just got about 10.
7, yeah, you're looking at right at $500,000 right there.
Yeah, and that's
500,000.
state, federal, and local all together.
Yeah.
So, just pretty much round it up and say, $8,000 a kid. That's $500,000 we won't have next year that we got this year from ADA.
We're gonna keep losing kids,
Yeah.
not only just homeschool, just because there's nothing to extra years.
Doesn't give it, especially
My
when
my boys are both driving higher than 15 on the lane. They still want to live here. It's a good place to raise a family. Hard place to make a living.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any type of retention or recruitment plan?
I'm sorry, what?
A retention or recruitment plan to keep those students in the system?
Well, it's not the students as much as it is the parents. You know, when they have to drive, like he says, when they've got to drive an hour and a half to go to work, they're eventually gonna get tired of that and move closer to work and take their kids with them. And let me ask you this question, this is more to the 70 that we lost, do we see that it's 470 we're losing in elementary, middle, or all across the board?
It's all across.
So it's an even distribution, it's not, because we could pinpoint it, just like up here, the situation was, we looked at it a couple of years ago. We were down 100 kids in or 90-something kids in elementary, but we were up 100 kids in high school. So to me, that's very simple to see. They're taking their kids to a nicer facility for elementary, and then bringing them back where we got a new facility for secondary, okay? And that's what we need to be, I think, and this is my peeve of mine, I think we've got to collaborate with the county commission and let them realize that if we keep trying to send these kids to falling down moldy buildings,
Correct.
they're gonna take them somewhere else or keep them home. And we see that the numbers have been pretty good in the high schools, correct, Mr. Kidd?
Yes, sir. Yes, we
The
were.
high school numbers have been good. Polk County had over 400 and something kids this past year, didn't they? Why aren't they up? Polk County High School was up. College Basin High School was up. And we're losing, where I see us losing kids is middle schools and elementary schools where our facilities are crumbling. You know, if they had a new, and I know everybody's really upset about, oh, we don't want to raise our taxes anymore to build any new schools. You know, we've got this thing planned, and I hope you get to come on the 30th, where we're gonna go down and talk about federal monies and ways to refinance old school loans and things like that. And everybody out there in the community is getting bombarded and told, we can't build a new school for this county because we're gonna double your taxes, and that's not correct. If we do it the right way, we ought to be able to do it without putting a financial burden on the property owners, and that's who funds all this bills, property owners, because we don't have any tax base to speak of. Anyway, I'm sorry, I get off my soapbox, but do you see that? Does that sound like a reasonable assumption?
It does.
To you?
Had to get an amen from the back row.
I think it's specifically, that's a good piece of it. But I imagine that it's a puzzle of things. It's a poverty issue.
Yeah.
It's that issue. It's having to drive somewhere else to work issue. So, I mean, but remember, this is not, we didn't buy the corner of this.
Absolutely.
It's a statewide problem that doesn't come easy.
Absolutely.
I mean, there is something like 500,000 kids statewide that are going to homeschool. And if you think about that 10 years ago, that number is, so it's definitely a trend.
Do you think that us talking about how we're increasing security at the schools, you think that settles a parent's mind even more, that maybe we don't send our kids to a place where they're not safe and maybe keep them home? I know, but I know that what you're talking about, I believe sincerely that a lot of it goes back to parents. You know, I don't want to get up and send my kid to school because you hear it from them. And it's pitiful.
You'll never be able to isolate one thing. It'll be a group of things.
Absolutely.
And their responsibility and a group of things that our responsibility. And together they make up this problem.
It's a perfect storm.
It is.
Well, there's several at the high school that, you know, we've had trouble with them all along, trying to come to school, they don't want to come to school. When they get 17 years old, mom can't get them up to come to school, and they won't come to school. Well, they decide to drop out to homeschool. You know, when they drop out to homeschool, they don't have to sign no paper. Well, they sign a paper saying that's what they plan to do, but they don't have to prove it.
Now, are we still required to track homeschool, private school attendance for kids in the county?
all we're doing is making sure that they're enrolled.
Enrolled in something, that's all we have to do.
There's still no accountability for them.
No accountability, we have none. That's all we do is turn in that they, matter of fact, they don't even have to enroll, all they have to do is fill out a form of intent to homeschool. If they fill out that form, we're out. But if they don't
And then
fill out
when
that
they do that,
form,
so they get in high school, they send them up there, and then they're agreeing. They get maybe thirds.
Honest, I know some that homeschool and they cannot write.
Yes.
16,
No, they don't
17-year-old,
they don't
they
get-
can't,
they
they
don't-
cannot write.
the hardest class you probably take in high school, or at least in the top 3 or 4, is algebra 2. It's a good, hard, basic class that everybody has to take. Folks, I have 5 college degrees and I'm a registered nurse. I can teach algebra 2. Not unless I studied it. I mean, I studied to teach it, but it's a hard class. Think about some people in the community that are homeschooling their kids.
You wonder how they do it.
Because
They're not.
it's hard. It's really hard.
I think,
Chemistry, you know,
I think the trend I'm seeing though, like we're talking about the student numbers, I'd like to know from building permits and things that are being sent out, what are the age of the people that are coming in? Because to me, it looks like we're turning more of a retirement community. You know, people are coming up here, they're buying cheap land, they've got cheap taxes, they're retired. They're not bringing kids in, they're buying property, and they're coming here because they don't have to go drive. They don't have to work every day
They
anymore.
just set the house and draw a check, they don't have to.
Absolutely, they don't have to drive anywhere. And like we said, our folks that are going to Chattanooga and Knoxville to have to work, you know, they're gonna move eventually, they'll get tired of it. Now, I drive 72 miles round trip every day to work, and always have, but I elected to do that. Not everybody's gonna elect to drive 75 miles round trip every day to work.
That's what, how far you go.
Yeah, where'd you drive last year?
When you
Every day?
Seven days a week, don't hang fire.
So you gotta have somebody that really wants to be here to do that, you know? And not many people gonna sacrifice that much money to commute and that much time.
You're just 45 years old.
But anyway, I mean, it looks like we're up against, what I'm saying is, it looks like we're up against a hard trend anyway.
it is. That's, it's a fad. It's a really big fad right now that happens to fit, like Mark said, a perfect storm. When you cross-reference the issues of poverty and some lack of educational desire, you know, as being the most important thing. I mean, with no restrictions, who does well with no restrictions?
I got into a conversation with a lady that homeschools kids and went down her business one day, and I asked her, I said, are you having to pay for your curriculum to homeschool your kids? She said, yeah. I said, you know, you can do that with us and not have to pay anything. And perked her eyes up. Hopefully those kids are some of the ones we picked up this year. But when they realize that they're not gonna have to shell out for the curriculum to do the homeschool, and, you know, they're actually gonna get some one-on-one face-to-face instruction with a real teacher.
See, there you go, we need to have.
Yeah, absolutely. She was like, oh, I'm really interested in that. So I hope those kids were some of the ones we picked up this year.
I hope so
But
too.
at the same time, I know that there's a lot of the teachers that are in our regular classrooms that probably feel some animosity toward innovative learning. And they've expressed that, like we're taking kids away from us. So they get frustrated, but at the same time, I think we're gonna lose those kids anyway.
We obviously are, but we
Yeah.
got capped out at Pila,
Yeah.
and 70 more have gone.
So I think it was a really good move to do what we did.
But it's not, but
But, you know,
Brad,
I would like to see innovative learning, I think, have a better, what can I say, a better taste in the mouth with regular in-school teachers. Sometimes I think there's a little animosity toward it by our faculty, because they feel like they're taking kids away from them, and I don't think, and like I say, I think they're gonna lose them.
we're definitely going to lose.
And it's not because of the teachers. I think the teachers take it personally, and
This is
I don't think
all-
they should.
Like we said, it's a puzzle with lots of pieces in it. There's no one thing making this happen.
Yeah.
But when you take away restrictions for it,
Absolutely. You're gonna take the easiest, a lot of people are gonna take the easiest route they have to take.
some people.
So what else? Do we have another common?
5 plan.
Yes.
Uh, There were 2 things about the 5-year plan. We did a new E-plan with the State Department this year. It's a 3-year plan. And it will completely drive the education part, the pedagogy of what we're doing as far as the school part. So I wasn't sure if we wanted to know more about that, because that part of it, I'll give you a copy of the plan and we go over it together. That's one thing. But what I felt like that was more about, under the circumstances that we've been dealing with over the last 2 years, is when are we gonna build new schools? Is that in our 5-year plan? How are we going to make sure that the Copper Basin area gets a new school as well as the Benton area? You know, those kind of questions. Because, I mean, you all know if we don't push and drive this, it won't happen. And it is the best thing for our community. Any way you look at it. Is it a hard sell? Sure it is.
Absolutely.
I mean, it will raise.
Because those people that are
No way around
moving
it.
here from out of town.
Or on a
they
fixed
don't-
income.
They're gonna go, whoa, wait a minute, I
Yeah.
just left Orlando, Florida, and I have to build homes, because I don't want to come up here. Start having building schools.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we'll pull back a lot of people that's taking their
Absolutely.
kids to Cleveland
Yeah.
or Athens, because they think they're better schools and it's closer to their work. I think you build a new school, people's gonna bring their kids.
We'll bring some back.
Absolutely, we spiked up here. I mean, you've had steady gains probably the last 3 or 4 years, have you not, Mr. Kidd? And like I say, this is only a 15-year-old facility, but still, I mean, this is a very nice, nice
You wanna
structure.
see how to keep a building clean?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Stroll through this building.
I believe it.
That's right.
And any time this place is sparkles, every time I've ever been here. But I mean, that's more about the administration than it is. It's really about the whole school, but really the administration drives that particular thing a lot. But you're right, every time in history, you build a new building, the attendance spike.
Goes up.
No way around it.
What do you see, or what do you hope to see with our meeting on the 30th, with that bunch? You think
Well-
they can help us,
Yeah. So here's what I think the next steps are gonna be and how it's going to help us. So we're sitting around before this happened and we're saying, you know, if we just had more land, but where in the world are we gonna get more land? They're not making it anymore. And there's a piece down on 411 near the you know, and all of a sudden, boom, 60 acres comes adjoining our school system. Like it dropped out of the sky, you know, couldn't draw it up any better. So that part was taken care of. So immediately we started thinking, what's next? Like, what we would do, because of the problems that we've been having with schools that I graduated from. I went to Benton Elementary when I was in 1st grade. And this is my 36th work, so I'm nearly grown. So, in the way that things have happened, the natural scope would be, what are we gonna do next? And what we did next was take that piece of property and do the drone topography survey, which is the most important survey, you know, that you can do. It tells all about it. Well, so we had that done, and so naturally the next step would be what are we gonna do with that survey? And this is kind of the next step that we're looking at. Now, keep in mind that these kind of things that we're talking about, like school buildings, all that would have to be bid. But this particular company took the initiative and kept it at a price that we can deal with to do this phase, which is go see the topography results. They are going to display the topography results with different plans for the kind of buildings that we're thinking